guys, welcome back. It's Shelby, and today we are hitting the streets to do some antique shopping. There's a little town called Hopkins, and I think they're in the Raspberry Festival, but basically they just do stuff throughout the summer. But I heard they have really cute little antique stores there, so I'm gonna drive over there and we're going to spend this gorgeous day outside hitting some of the antique shops and seeing what we find. Look at this gorgeous sunny day. Could not have asked for better weather. And look at this cute little town, or city, I guess. But this is like the definition of a little Main Street USA. Look at all the little flags everywhere. And it's sunny and bright and cute. There aren't a lot of people around, but yeah, this place is adorable. So basically, I'm just going to walk around and take in the town until I find the little antique stores I was told about. They do have these cool, like, into the street sidewalk things, which give the restaurants a nice little patio on the sidewalk, so that's neat. And here we go, our first antique store of the day. Blake's Antiques, and that building is massive, so yeah, let's take a look inside and see what kind of goodies they've got. So this is set up pretty cool. Like inside they have all of their stuff kind of laid out like a little room, which is neat. They do have some of your typical display cases that have some more items in them. But this is a really neat kind of layout and different than a lot of antique stores I've been in, is like the products are almost staged, which is kind of cool. So I like that. I like these hats too. Oh my gosh, I love the expressions on the dogs' faces. They just look like so happy and jolly. But this place is cool. Like it really lays out everything kind of in different rooms. You can see like the red dining room and like the dressing area, bedroom, like drawers and vanities and lamps. And it kind of gives you a sense of like what the products might look like in your own home, which is pretty cool. And then they also have a couple like really quirky pieces, which I love. Oh my gosh, look at these poodles. They are so funny. I love the girl one's wearing like earrings and is just kind of like, see, I told you so. And the guy is just like looking so harassed. It's hilarious. The store definitely has some amazing furniture pieces like this one, an upstairs and a downstairs, and it's awesome. But we are out on the streets looking to check out the next store, and I don't even have to cross the street because literally right next door, like touching it, is another antique store. So in we go to check out the treasures of this place. So I can tell right away that this store's motto as far as how to present its items is very different from the store next door. They have a lot of items and they are putting them all in every single bookcase and shelf that they have to maximize space, which is great, but it does make it a little tough to see everything. They don't have very many pieces of furniture. I do like this piece. I wish I had room for it back home actually, but I don't, so I'm not getting it. But yeah, basically just every single countertop and bookcase and shelving unit is completely filled with items. And I mean, I feel like if you're looking for something in particular, you might actually find it here. But yeah, as far as just looking around and seeing what they have and seeing what you might like, for me anyway, it's a little bit difficult to concentrate on things just because they have so many and they're all packed in. And there's not like a whole lot of rhyme or reason. I mean, it's a jewelry case, so it's all jewelry, or salt and pepper shelf, so it's all salt and pepper, but just a lot to look at, but still really cool and a lot of items. Some of them do go back pretty far. Some of them are fairly modern, like really modern. They also have a downstairs, which is pretty cool, and they have a few garments. This like pink dress is awesome. It's like so 60s, I think, and adorable. But they have all these like different clothes and a fabric section for like doilies and bits of lace and handkerchiefs. They've got like a whole doll section, some pretty cool items downstairs, slightly better laid out than upstairs, at least in my opinion, just because it seems to be slightly more organized. And even though the items are tougher to see because they're in bins, the bins are labeled and it's just a little bit easier to kind of wrap your mind around. But yeah, so we are heading off to the next store, which also happens to be right next door. This place really is great for antiques. Like they have shops everywhere. So yeah, in we go. Starting off with some car models. And so this store seems to be like a nice mix of the last two. There are a lot of items in the shelves, but not as many. A little bit easier on the eyes to look at. And they do have some furniture pieces laid out a little bit. So yeah, just kind of a good mix of the last two. Also, they have some really cute little pieces in here, like this little puppy figurine, which reminds me of like a character from a Dr. Seuss book. You know how they're like kind of mouthy and always have their eyes closed and are telling people off. Also, these little salt and pepper shakers that are looking at each other mischievously. Don't know what their secret is, but it's adorable. But they do just seem to have kind of what I think of when I think antique store, just a lot of items, not really staged, just kind of laid out so you can see them and kind of picture them in your own home and see if you want them. Not like total overload like a garage sale, but also not like, completely staged. The phones are cool though. Like I really like these old phones. Look at that little like front plate. That's adorable. I kind of want a phone like this. I think that'd be cool. So far, I'd have to say that this store is probably my favorite just because it more closely aligns with what I think of when I think of antique store. It's kind of got a little bit of everything. It's laid out well, it's organized, it's bright, and you can find jewelry, garments, fabric, books, furniture, this really cool, I don't even know what this is, honestly, like some sort of vase or not even like a kettle. Like, I honestly don't know, but it's beautiful. I would love to know more about it. Okay, honestly, I'm getting tired and I'm ready to break for lunch, but literally right next door is the next shop. So we have to go in there, and this is Bunny's Vintage Jewelry, and we're going to check it out before we eat. So the name really should have tipped me off, but this is all jewelry and a few accessories like scarves and bags. It's a much smaller store than any of the others I have been in, but they have some really beautiful things, some really cool, like rare things. They have these purses that are just straight up chainmail and gorgeous and so unique and amazing. I take it back. This store is now my favorite. They are so nice in here. They'll open up the cases and let you try on all the little pretty things. So they're great. On to the next. Antiques and Vintage Store, here we come. I think this is number 5 now. This is Surprise Me. Antiques, arts, books, clothing, furniture, etc. So this store also had dolls. I don't know what it is, but of all the antiques out there, dolls just are a little bit creepy. But they had some gorgeous jewelry in here. They had some jewelry caskets from the early 1900s, some solid perfume, some beautiful pieces that were truly antique and not just vintage. So yeah, check that out. That's a solid perfume. They actually opened it up and let me smell it, and it smelled great. Like, it's amazing, and it's from 100 years old. But they had a fair amount of items in here that were a bit eclectic. They weren't really staged, but each section kind of had its own vibe. Like, this was more of a rustic area, and then they did like kind of a glam, clothing area in the back. All of the jewelry was set out in like jewelry cases. So while not totally staged, kind of themed, if you will, which was pretty cool. One thing that I noticed here that I noticed a lot of places here is that a lot of them are Minnesota themed, which is great because, we're in Minnesota. But they definitely like kind of took that to heart, and they're all things that like, well, not all of them, but a lot of things are like by older Minnesota stores or like from Minnesota, which was kind of cool to see. So at this point, I am wrapping up my trip for the day. There are at least 3 more stores that I saw that I didn't even get a chance to go into, but it has been hours and I am exhausted, so those will have to wait for another day. So it's back out in the gorgeous day so I can begin driving all the way home. Alright, you guys, that was it. That was a day antiquing in Hopkins, and it was awesome. It's like such a cute little like Main Street USA type town. So we actually missed out on at least one of the shops that we saw, but honestly, I got tired. I don't like walk that long, and it was hours and hours and hours. Each store was like really big, but then it also like most of them had a downstairs too, but it was so cool and so fun. And honestly, I kind of thought I would do like a little haul at the end, but I didn't end up buying anything, which is weird for me. And also like, I'm kind of proud of myself because there were a couple things where I'm like, oh, I want this. And it's like, it's just, X amount of dollars, but it's like, do I need that? And no, the answer is no. Like, my place is full. I don't have room for anything else. So I didn't actually buy anything, but it was a wonderful day. And it's a super cute little town if you ever go there. And they had lots of restaurants. So when we got tired, we just popped in to have lunch. And it's all on the main street. And there's a free parking structure. So yeah, definitely one of any number of great ways to spend a summer day, honestly, but a great way to spend a summer day, just kind of warm outside and then in air-conditioned little antique stores if you're anywhere near Hopkins, Minnesota. But thanks so much for coming along with me today, and yeah, give the video a thumbs up if you liked it so I know, and I'll see you here again soon. Thanks so much for watching. Bye for now.